All right, folks, if you're watching this, you were probably either absent for the day on which we did this instruction, or you're looking back on it to catch something that you might have missed before. Okay, this is the final bit of the speed, distance, and time. These are the calculations that we do. All right. Now, the calculations for speed are really exactly the same as what you might do to estimate how much money you would make if you have a job. So imagine that you have a job that pays $20 per hour. So if you have 1 hour you work, then you get $20. If you have 2 hours, you get 40s. Okay? So you go on Tuesday and you work for 6 hours. Well, how much money do you make? Well, your total money is going to be equal to your $20 per hour times the number of hours that you work, right? So you put that into your calculator. 20 times 6 is 120, so you'll make $120 for that day. Now, notice how this is written, $20 per hour. That's the amount of money per hour. Do you notice that that really doesn't look much different than, say, if you're driving in your truck or your car and you're going at 50 miles per hour, right? Well, if you were going at 50 miles per hour, actually, let me back that up and let me just call that 20 and make that the same as before. If you were going 20 miles per hour and you drove for 6 hours, then you would drive 120 miles. So speed and the amount of money that you make per hour, basically same thing, works the same way. Now, this right here is the equation for speed. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. And then your distances is anything that is a distance. It could be meters, it could be centimeters, it could be kilometers or kilometers. Time could be seconds or minutes or hours. So speed can end up being meters per second or centimeters per second or kilometers per hour. Now, there's a method of solving these problems called the triangle method. And basically what it boils down to is you cover the thing that you want to learn or that you want to calculate, and then you do what remains. So for example, speed is S, distance is D, time is T. So if I want to know speed, then I cover up the S and I end up with distance divided by time. If I want to know time, then I cover up the T and I end up with distance divided by speed. If I want to know distance, then I cover the D and I end up with speed times time. Now, in all the things that we do, the majority of the points for them are going to come from the working, not from the answer. So we're going to use a format called GUESS, given, unknown, equation, substitute, solve. All right? And here are the two examples for that. First thing you do is you read the question and you try to figure out what is D, what is S, what is T. All right? So, a car journey of 180 miles takes 3 hours. Find the speed. So the first thing you do is you do your givens. What are you given? So, a car journey of 180 miles. Well, that is a distance. right? So we're going to record that under our givens as D is equal to 180 miles. The car journey takes 3 hours. Well, that's time. So we're going to record that as T is equal to 3 hours. Find the average speed. Find is telling you that is the unknown. Not the given, but the unknown. So, question, what is the speed? Now, the speed in this case, S, is going to be in miles per hour, because distance is in miles, time is in hours. Now, the next part, the equation. What do we want to know? We want to know S. So we are going to go to our triangle and we are going to cross out S, or hold our thumb or our finger over it and look at what remains. So the equation is the unknown S is equal to D divided by T. D divided by T. The first S stands for substitute. That's where you substitute these numbers into this equation. So I'm going to substitute S, it's my unknown, is equal to D, 180 miles, divided by T, 3 hours. I'm going to solve my problem. 180 divided by 3 is equal to 60. Okay, so that's the numbers part. And then my units are miles per hour, just like in your car or truck. Now, the next one, it says, excuse me, a cyclist travels at 18 kilometers per hour. So our first given is the speed is 18 kilometers per hour for 4 hours. So our time is 4 hours. Our unknown is work out the total distance. So our unknown is distance. Excuse me, not the way I told you to do it. The unknown, question mark, is distance. What of these is the distance? Is hour a distance? No. Is hour a distance? No. But kilometers is a distance. That's 1,000 meters. So our distance is going to be in kilometers. Now, I want to know distance, so I go to my triangle equation and I cross out distance. And what's left behind is S multiplied by T. So, distance is equal to speed times time. So then I'm going to substitute. What is my speed? 18 kilometers per hour. Just going to go in there. 18 kilometers per hour, multiplied by my time, 4 hours. So when I solve it, 18 times 4 is 72. And my distance, the only thing is distance, is kilometers. So my distance is kilometers. So find your givens and your unknown. Choose the equation that you want. Substitute. Solve. And notice the unit there is always the unit of the unknown. All right, well, on the back of this thing, it's all about rounding, because I noticed that people were having some issues with rounding, okay? So we're going to practice these with the rounding rules. Okay, so first one, you want to round to 2 decimal places, right? So the decimal is right there. So the first decimal place is going to be that one, first decimal, second decimal, third decimal. So my 2 decimal places are going to be right there. Now, the rounding rules tell me find the rounding place and circle it. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly what they're saying on the rounding rules. Find the rounding place and circle it. The rounding place is the 7. Go next door, underline the digit. They mean next door is the one behind. Underline the digit. Ask, is this 4 or less? And of course, the answer is yes. For yes, let it rest. So that means that this is going to be 1.67, right? So you don't need to touch it because it's 4 or less. All right. Next one. Find the rounding place and circle it. That's the second decimal place. Underline the digit next door. Is it 4 or less? No. 5 or more? Raise the score. So what they mean is you take the 3 and you change it to 4. You raise the score. 2.24. All right. Now, you should try the next ones. I'm going to, if you're doing this on your own, you really should pause the video right now. Do the next one. Check it. Pause the video. Do the next one. Check it. Do the video. Pause the video. Do the next one. Check it. All right. So here we go. Circle the second decimal place. Underline the digit next door. 4 or less. Yes. If yes, let it rest. 5.10. Underline, or excuse me, circle the rounding place. Underline the digit next door. 4 or less. Yes. Let it rest. 1.13. Last one. This is the hardest one, all right, and this is the reason I put this one in here, okay? So, circle the rounding digit. There it is, second one. Underline the digit next door. 5 or more, raise the score. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This number right here is 5 or more. So this number right here has to become 10, right? 9 goes to 10. So that means that this whole number goes in this place. So 3.09 becomes 3.10. And that's first decimal place, second decimal place. So when you have to round a 9, you end up having to put a 1 in that place, right? Because 9 rounds to 10. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful, and you can refer back to this anytime you wish. Good luck.